This is Knife Splasher number 3. There's Knife Splasher and he is fighting Gideon. Remember Gideon from Excellent Force? What a shocking crossover. This video, of course, it's actually about fake geek girl diversity in a comic book. He reckons that his favouriteest character is Knife Splasher, but the fake geek girl doesn't even like 80% of Knife Splasher stories. He always does shite like that. He reckons that he loves something, then he applies some ridiculously specific caveat and completely moves the goalposts. Oh, I love Knife Splasher, but only in the first 20 issues of New Warriors. Oh, I love the 90s comics, except I only mean the same 5 comics, and anything that I haven't already read is obviously shit. Oh, nobody is reviewing comics anymore on YouTube except me, because I didn't even look. Yeah, this is one of them videos where I just lose all my subscribers and get like 20 dislikes for saying that I really didn't respect fake geek girl diversity in a comic book. The last year has made it clear to me that he was never really interested in these comics. He was only ever interested in inserting himself into them. Inserting himself as a character like the Punisher or something, or inserting himself as a writer. His main love for comics was vanity. Wanting to put one out and have people buy it and have an audience. And beyond that, his interest is mostly fake, and any love is limited to like really specific stuff, and he quickly writes off anything different. Then he's always trying to morph stuff into his own comics or his own ideas or his own life. Oh, why didn't Captain America fight in Afghanistan? Because it would be fucking terrible. It'd be the exact same sort of political belief insertion that you claim to be against, but, oh, it mirrors you, and that's all you're really interested in, isn't it? You want him to do a Captain America where he is basically you. Get fucked, Four Eyes. He doesn't wear glasses, but he might grow another set of eyes from all that post-traumatic stress that comic book pros inform me that he is definitely suffering from. Captain America is my favouriteest superhero in all the world of all time ever, and I am fucking thankful that a machine gunner who thinks comics are meant to be all about him didn't come along and put Captain America into Afghanistan. Captain America, he didn't go to Afghanistan because that would be at odds with the actual character. Not your idea of him, his actual character. His actual character that is not diversity in a comic book. It would also be propaganda, so I was using Captain America to tell potentially xenophobic right-wing stories any better than having Captain America team up with Antifa. The two sides of the same coin. I didn't like Knife Splasher, by the way. I think he's a pretty bland Batman copy. He's kind of just black Batman with a skateboard. But I still think I probably like the character more than that fake geek girl diversity in a comic book. I didn't want to harp on it because I know it's obviously divisive, but he is barely a comic book fan. He is a shallow, surface-level reader who only likes books like The New Warriors, his alleged favourite comic ever, but he only likes it when it is drawn by one artist. Ignore the fact that the same writer continues to write it, and that the artists who came after Martin Bagels were just as decent. No, he is fickle, and apparently the stories and the characters and the writing, it wasn't what appealed to him. What appealed to him was just Martin Bagels. It was just the name that he liked. He's the same with characters and costumes. Oh, I hate any knife splasher story after issue 25. Oh, I hate any knife splasher costumes after his first one. Not really your favourite character then, is he? You only like him for about 10 issues. He is such a little fake geek girl with completely flimsy rationales on why he feels a way. Honestly, go and watch his fucking review of Christmas on Infinite Earths issue number 1. It is atrocious. Like, I didn't like Christmas on Infinite Earths either, but under the guise of being a fucking idiot, I provided more substantial thought and opinion on Christmas on Infinite Earths than he did. He was just moaning about everything being stupid, whinging about monkeys and characters that he didn't know, so they must be automatically stupid. This comic, it is drawn by Dave Edgar Hoover, very good artist, not good enough for fake geek girls, because he changed Knife Splasher's costume ever so slightly. Also, I bet if Martin Bagels had done an all-white snowsuit variant of Knife Splasher, diversity in a comic book would be all over it and think it was like the coolest moment ever. And while I personally didn't think Knife Splasher is a very exciting character, and definitely not a leading star, I think Fabian Nicieza gives it a good try here. It'd be very easy to just do a Knife Splasher miniseries and have it be like a new Warrior story that focuses a bit more on Knife Splasher. But this does feel like a Knife Splasher solo story. It uses his setup and his character to tell a tale apart from the rest of the team. I think this is when he briefly left the team. He stormed off like a little drama queen. Probably for some shallow reason like Martin Bagel stopped drawing or Seagull cut her hair. We have got a nice fight with Gideon here though. Although using Gideon is very clearly Fabio Nicieza indulging himself and building his own corner of the Marvel Universe. It's fine though, I didn't mind it. Gideon, he was never that appealing as a villain, so actually pairing him with a character as bland as Knife Splasher probably is a smart choice. The thing is though, that big fake geek girl, he criticises this, he criticises other New Warriors books just for not fitting with his very narrow parameters. And then with the other New Warriors iterations, the many attempts at reviving the book, I will agree that a lot of them are shit, but I have actually read them. And it shows that he hasn't read them and he's just reluctant to accept any idea that is different from his own specific shallow nostalgia. It's not entirely different to pricks like Kurt Busey or Martin Quaid, and I think that's what aggravates us so much. Diversity in a comic book, it exhibits the exact same mentality of those writers that I fucking hate. Fake Geek Girl, diversity in a comic book, he referred to the initiation and said it was shit because nobody wants to see the New Warriors characters training to be Avengers, but that wasn't that series at all. They were the ones doing the training. They were training young heroes to be Avengers in a military scenario, so you'd think he'd love that. And then they spun off into just a New Warriors team that were independent and they were led by Knife Splasher. You would think he'd love that as well. Plus there was a Black Ops team, which you'd think he'd love that too. But he doesn't love any of this because he's not interested, since he was broke during those days, or he was busy being a super army soldier in the Marines. Therefore, any comic from that era is easy to write off and flippantly say it doesn't count or isn't worth looking into, despite him making no effort to do so. It should just be judged as quickly as possible, from like a single line summary that you have misread. Well, this comic, it doesn't make me any more interested in Knife Splasher, but I wasn't ever all that keen on him to begin with. Maybe if Knife Splasher is your favourite character and you are not a fake geek girl, you might really appreciate this. It's a chance to see the character on his own adventure without the other new warriors really cutting in. Also, this design, the only difference is they have given him red shoulder pads and red shin pads. That's how fucking close-minded fake geek girls are. They perceive any change as a negative or a jumping off point. Maybe you should just decide to do a supposed boycott where you won't buy any comics anymore, except it translates to you won't buy any comics that might be good, and instead just buy shite by Gail Simon and Martin Quaid so you can convince yourself you are still saving the industry with your vanity publishing. I'm not going to be making this a thing, by the way, like a desperate bid for attention. But just to spite him, I reckon this is the best Knife Splasher story ever told. So I rate this 7 thumbs up. I would like to apologise to fake geek girls everywhere. The costume is a bit more different than I thought. These red stripes, they weren't there on the original. Then with the helmet, this red line there, that wasn't on the original. You can't see it because of Gideon's hand, but he's got a red belt. The original design didn't have that. The original, it was basically just this, but all black. It's just like a palette swap. It's a very minor change.